In class, we're doing 2A simulation training. So we're going to be using flash fill. So it wants us to select columns C and D. And then we want to insert two columns. We'll right click, insert. In C11, we're going to type 13129, and we're going to hit enter on our formula bar. On the home tab in our editing group, we want to click fill, which is our middle option, and flash fill. So what it did, it took the item number from our item category. So in D11, we're going to do oak and hit enter. So we're going to select D11 and press Control E as our keyboard shortcut for flash fill. Control E and go. We're going to delete column B, so we highlight the column, right click and hit delete. Question 1 is done. So 2.2, we're going to move a column, so it's telling us to select column C and go to our home group on our ribbon, and it wants us to cut. We can right click and cut as well. And now we want to go H1 and click it, and then we're going to use the paste button right next to the cut button. Now we can delete column C, so highlight the column, right click and delete. We're going to select columns A through G now, and we're going to click format, which we've done before. Under our cells group, format's right here, and we want to auto fit column width. We want to merge and center A1 through H1. So we highlight A1 through H1. We use our merge and center button. We're going to apply the title style to that cell. And question 2 is done. Now we're going to use our sum and average functions. We did a few ways to sum in 1A, but we're going to see it again. So we want to click on B4 and the formulas tab in our function library group, which is right here to the left part of the ribbon. We're going to click auto sum. And we want to type A11 colon A39, which reads A11 through A39, and we're going to hit enter. And now we've summed that range. With B5 selected, we're going to point to statistical and then average. So our function library again, we hit the more button. We're going to go statistical and then average, which is our second choice. And now we're given a range. So we want to do D11 colon D39 and OK. And there's our average. So in 2.4, we're going to do the median. If we remember, the median is the price right in the middle. So we have equal number to the left and right of it. So we're going to go to more function statistical again to fill B6. So we're going to more functions, statistical, and now we're going to scroll down to median. And we want to do D11 through D39. and hit OK. And there's our medium. Now we're going to use min and max to fill B7 and B8. So we click B7, and we're going to do more functions, statistical, and we're going to go down to min. And that same cell range. And OK. In B8, we're going to insert the max function to do our highest price. So same, more functions, statistical and max. That same range, D11 through D39. And B4, we want to apply the comma style, so we'll go to B4, we'll go to home and hit our comma button. Now we want to decrease our decimal place 2 percentages. So we can expand our number section. And where we see decimal places, we can go down to 0 and hit OK. And now for B5 through B8, we want to apply the counting number format. And we're done with 2.5. And we're being told we're going to move data and resolve in an error message. So we'll show you the error message. So we're going to select column A. And it wants us to go to our format section of our ribbon with cells. And we want to click column width. We want to type 5 here and then OK. So we're going to make this column width smaller. Okay, now we're being told to select A4 through B8. And we're going to drag and move it to D4 through D8. Keep missing my smell. You got to get to the black compass sign at the top or bottom, and then we're going to go to D4. And we see the hashtag error. So all we do is we have the 2 columns selected that it wants us to. We want to auto fit it, so let's put our mouse between the 2 with our compass sign and double click. And it doesn't want us to do that. So it wants us to go to format and auto fit column width. You can also double click between the 2 cells as well. So with D4 and E8 still selected, we're going to change our cell style. So our styles group cell style. And we want to scroll down. We want the 20% accent 1 cell style, which is under our titles and heading. And now we've moved a range of data and resolved the hashtag error. Now we're going to merge cells and rotate text. I love the rotate text feature. It makes everything so readable. So we're going to select C4 through C8. And it wants us to format cells again. Oh, sorry. It wants us to highlight the selection and use our right-click menu. And down to format cells. We get our format cells dialog box up. We're going to click alignment. and it wants us to merge cells. Under orientation, it wants us to change the degree values to 30, so we can use our little pull handle here and go up to 30, but we'll also type it and hit OK. We're going to now change the font of this selection, this cell, to 14. We're going to do bold and italic for this selection. And we want to change the color to the 5th column, first color. And now we're going to apply the align right to this. Oh, sorry, align right. I was doing left. There's our right. Now, in the row heading area, point to row 9. We're going to right click. So what I did here, I right clicked and hit insert, and then I hit F4 to add the additional 2, but what I will do is reset that. So I'm redoing 2.7 because I forgot to tell you some steps. So we're going to do C4 and C8. We're going to right click and go to format cells. Under alignment, we're going to do merge cells. So it's like our merge and center. And we're going to change our orientation to 30. We'll change our font to 14. We're going to bold and italic this. We're going to change the color. We're going to align it right. We're going to go over to row 9 and we're going to right click and do insert. Then we're going to hit F4 twice. Now we want to select rows 9 through 11. And if we see we have a section formatted here, we want to clear that out. So we can go up to our home ribbon under editing. We have the eraser, and it wants us to click clear formats. It wanted us to click the icon instead of the pull down, and now do clear formats. Oops. I have 9 through 12 done. Sorry about that, everyone. I keep changing the size. So even Professor Outmix.
Select rows 9 through 11 on the Home tab in the...
So we're going to select 9 through 11. My bad, everyone. Hit the clear button and clear formats. And that was the end for 2.7. So now we're going to put some conditional functions in place like we did min, max, median, sum, and average. We're going to use COUNTIF now. So in cell A10, we want to type oak trees. And hit enter. We're going to click B10. in our formulas tab in our function library, we want to go to more functions and statistical and count if. Our range, we're going to type G14 through G42. In the criteria box, we want to type oak and hit OK. B10. Oops, another typo, everyone, sorry. Now G14 through G42, and OK, and we get the right answer of 13 items with the word oak in it. So we want to change the alignment of B10 to our left, so we want to put it on the other side of the cell. So alignment at left. Now we're going to use the if function. So count if give us a count of how many numbers under a specific condition we had. So now in H13, we want to type stock level and hit enter. In H14, we want to use the function if. So we're going to go to formulas and more functions. So we don't have to go there. We're going to go logical, my bad, and then if. So here's where we get our tests. So now our first test is going to be the value in cell A14 is less than 75. We're going to tell it what happens when it's true or false. Hope it wants me to tab. I'm going to type order and then tab. And for the false box, we're going to type OK. And then we're going to hit OK. And now we're going to fill that to H42. So I'll get my full handle and go all the way down to H42. Carson. So we're going to apply some conditional formatting to give us some more visuals, kind of like what we did spark lines. So what we're going to do is we have A14 through H44 already selected for us. So in our home tab in our styles group, we have a conditional formatting button. We're going to click it and we're going to go to highlight cell rules. And then we're going to go to text that contains. And we get a dialog box. We're going to type order here. In the second box, we're going to click custom format. So we hit the down arrow, custom format. The font, we're going to do bold and italic. Oops. There we go. And then we're going to click the color arrow, which is right under it. We want the last column first color. Then we're going to go to fill. And under background color, which is right here, we click no color. And we're going to hit OK twice. And now we see we've changed the color to ones that said order in it. So now in A14 through A42, we're going to do the process again, but this time we're going to put in some data bars. So click the more button for conditional formatting, then data bars, and then we want the orange data bar under gradient fill. And then we got conditional formatting based on the number of quantity in stock. Now we're going to use find and replace. Don't really use this much in Excel, but we'll show it. So we're going to select F14 through F42. In our editing group, we're going to click Find and Select. We're going to type Replace. We're going to type Erosion. And then put Tab. We're going to hit Erosion Control. And then we're going to do Replace All. Add 13 replacements. Hit OK and hit Close. Now we've used Find and Replace. So we're going to input our date that our computer has now by using the Now function. We want to go to our name box and type A44. We'll hit Enter. So now we go back to Formulas, and under our function library, we're going to click the down arrow for date and time. And now we're going to go down and find Now, and we're going to hit OK. And that's the system date of when this simulation was recorded. Now we want to get to cell A1, so I'm going to go to name bar and type A1. Now we're being told to select row 14, so we click out on the 14. And in the View tab, we're freezing and unfreezing panes here. We're going to go to, it wants us to freeze panes. And in our list, we want to click Freeze Panes. I'll point out we don't really freeze panes like this too often, but we often freeze the top row and first column because those will stay where they are regardless of how far down or over we go. And now we want to unfreeze see what happens. That A13 stays where it was and it lets us scroll. Now we want to unfreeze, so hit the down arrow and hit unfreeze. And that's it for 213. So 214, we're going to create an Excel table and apply table style. So we want to click on A14, and we're going to click Insert, and then Table under the Tables group. And it just tells us to hit OK. So it's chosen our data, and we hit OK. And now we have a searchable and sortable, well-formatted table. Now we have the table still selected. We see our table design dialog box. We're going to go to the table styles group all the way to the right of the ribbon. We're going to click more. We're going to find light. And we want to go to light blue table style light 16. So it's in our third column, the last option, the last third row. And now we've taken an unsorted, unformatted block of data and made it into a table, and each of the down arrows will have a way we can search. Now sorting the table, we're going to do this. In the header row, click the retail price arrow, which is right here. And now we're going to sort this. Usually we would select ones we want to see and then do things like that, but we want to go smallest to largest, so it's going to change the way our data is. Now we're going to click Category, and we want to sort A to Z. Now we're going to click the item number, and we're going to do smallest to largest. And there we've done some sorting using those drop downs. Now we're going to filter a table and display a total row. So we're going to go to the category and select the down arrow button. And we're going to click Select All to get rid of the selection. And now we're just going to choose maple. So this is only going to return the items with a maple in their category. And now we want to total this. So to do that, we can put a total row in. And to do so, we go to Table Design. And underneath Header Row and above Bandit Rows, we're going to tick the box for Total Row. And now we see we have 6 things with maple. Now we want to click A43. And we want to hit the drop down. And we're going to do sum. And it did the same thing. But now we have a sum in our first column, end of the row, sorry. So we have 571 there. So we're going to clear the filter now in category. We do so by clicking the button next to category and untick maple. And hit OK. Oops. Sorry, it wants us to click filter. We don't really do it that way, but we'll do it their way. I would have just unticked it and then just went back to all. So now we want to filter the table so that only erosion controls displays in the landscape use. So normally I would just untick, go to erosion to do what it wants. And now we want to display only oak out of this criteria. So untick, select all, and go to oak. And OK. So now we're going to clear all filters from the range and then remove the title row. I'll highlight my table, go to table design, and we want to clear all the filters. So the filter button, we're going to untick it. That's the way we do it, but I don't know what it's doing. We're going to watch the video because I'm not exactly sure what it wants here for us. Unless it wants this. That wants us to go in here. That's what it was. It wants us to do each one individually. Alright, so we used the down arrow and went clear filter for landscape use. And now we remove the table, the total row, by going to table design and hitting total row. Now we want to use our sheet navigation. So we got sheet 1, it wants us to go to sheet 2. We want to make A6 the active cell by clicking on it or going to the name box. In our table design, in our tools group, which is right here, we want to convert the range. So we're going to convert a table to a range. And do you want to convert a table to a normal range? We're going to hit yes. So now we've just removed the table. We want to insert a footer with the file name in the left section and center the worksheet horizontally. So remember, that's in page layout, our drop down for our margins, our custom margin. We want to go horizontally, and header and footer, we're going to do custom footer, left section, file name, OK, and OK. And that's 217. So now we want to modify and shrink our view. So we want to go back to sheet 1. And under view, we have a zoom group, which is right here. So we want to click the magnifying glass for zoom and go to 75% to change it to 75% option. and hit OK. And now we want to go back to 100, so I can click the button I clicked erroneously before. So now we're going to split a worksheet into panes, So we're being told to make F9 our active cell. And on the View tab, which is already displayed for us, in the Windows group, we want to click Split. Now we want to remove the split bars from the window and make A1 active. I don't remember how to do this. I'm going to have to dial a friend.
Activity 219, splitting a worksheet window into panes. In a large worksheet, it might be useful to split the window into multiple resizable panes that contain views of your worksheet so that you can view different parts at the same time. Click cell F9. On the View tab in the Window group, click Split to split the worksheet. To remove the split, on the View tab in the Window group, click Split. Press Ctrl Home to make A1 the active cell. Now let's change the theme. Click the Page Layout tab. In the Themes group.
So that's not what the directions really mean to me, but I will do what they want. So let me reset this. So we want to make F9 the active cell. We want to split. And then we want to remove the split. And we want to make A1 active. We want to go to the Page Layout tab and go to Themes, and we want to change this to Slice. And we want to select A13 through H13. And we're going to go back to our home. And we want the heading 4 style, so cell styles in heading 4. And we want to change that to center aligned. And now we want to click C through H and auto fit. So anywhere within the range, we get our compass and double click. So it looks like we're going to put a footer in again. So remember page layout, margins, custom margins. We're going to align horizontally. And we want the file name in the left again. Header footer, custom footer, left blinking, file, OK, and OK. We're going to change our orientation to landscape. So page layout, orientation landscape. Now we're going to go to the page setup group and hit print titles. And now under print titles, we want to click rows to repeat, which is right here. I don't know what happened there. So now we're going to select row 13. We're going to expand our dialog box again and hit OK. So we now wants us to display our print preview, so File and Print. And we want to click the no scaling arrow and then click Fit All Columns in one page. So our no scaling option is our bottom option on the left. Hit the down arrow and we want Fit All Columns. And that'll do it. So excuse my use of $friend a couple times. I haven't done these in a while, nor do I ever do things like split windows into panes, but we got the job done. And like I said, we'll go over this on Zoom on Friday.